is Cecil B. Moneygetter, host of Money Talks, a new financial news upload that is laser focused on digital finance, cryptocurrencies, robotics, electric vehicles, stocks, the cannabis industry, and much, much more. Tune in and join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on our Information Meets Execution YouTube channel as we bring you financial news uploads, one trending topic at a time. And don't forget to stay listening, because money talks. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, and you're watching Money Talks. First up, in trending news, we have the U.S. debt is $175 trillion. A Coinbase CTO would like to know, is this debt payable? Entrepreneur and investor Balaji Srinivasan, the former CTO of Coinbase Global Inc., recently offered several data points that underline the severity of the current debt situation in the U.S. The U.S. national debt load isn't $35 trillion, he says in a blog post. It's $175.3 trillion. That's actually the true debt of the USA when you take all the entitlements into account, like Social Security and Medicare, and that number is itself rapidly increasing, Srinivasan said, citing numbers from a U.S. Treasury report published in February. The Fed made more emergency loans in 2023 than it did during both COVID-19 pandemic and the 2008 financial crisis, as per Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis data. The Fed takes emergency loans when it needs to provide liquidity to banks and other financial institutions, which went on life support from the most recent interest rate hike cycle. According to the analysts by FX Street, debt acquisition levels by the U.S. government in 2023 reached pandemic levels, but at higher rates and without a crisis to justify them. This has led interest rate payments on debt to be the U.S. government's second largest expense after national defense. By May, interest payments by the U.S. were $2 million per minute. U.S. dollar erosion. Several of the world's largest economies have opted to forego the U.S. dollar as a store of value and exchange currency, replacing it with gold and other world currencies. China has been reducing its positions on U.S. Treasury debt on a steady basis since 2016, according to Treasury data. Along with Russia and India, China has been building gold reserves to replace the U.S. dollar, writes Srinivasan. Earlier this year, China also replaced the U.S. dollar for its own yuan as the main currency used in cross-border foreign exchange deals. To cover those costs of entitlement programs in the future, the government will need $175 trillion, according to the Treasury Financial Report from February of this year. That figure falls in line with one shared last year by billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller in a speech at the USC Marshall Center for Investment Studies. Covering those expenses can only be done by increased borrowing, higher taxes, reduced program spending, or some combination, said the Treasury report. In Srinivasan's words, the debt is unpayable. Republican nominee and former President Donald Trump proposed tax cuts for the wealthy, estimated to add $4 trillion in debt over the next decade. He also proposed cutting entitlements. Although borrowing has been high in recent decades as compared to earlier times in the U.S. history, the debt to GDP ratio is currently lower than it was in 2020, the peak of the pandemic. This ratio is used to gain perspective on the size of national debt as it compares to the size of the economy. Get in the comments and let me know what you think and how you feel. Up next, in technology news, FSD test drive scares analyst son to death, says the third time is not a charm. A Tesla Inc. analyst continues to put CEO Elon Musk call for investors to test FSD to the test and shares how a third test of the technology performed and what it could mean for the future of autonomous vehicles. Truist analyst William Stein maintained a hold rating on Tesla with a $215 price target. Stein tested FSD V12 5.1.1 in a new Tesla Model 3 with similar setup to his first two tests of the Tesla technology. The analyst said the weather conditions were clear and dry. One notable difference in the third test was a Tesla representative required analysts and his 16-year-old son to sit through an on-road FSD demonstration before they got on the road alone. Due to others waiting to test drive the Model 3 and a 20-minute time limit, the third test also featured a closer destination than the past two tests from the analyst. I feared the more straightforward route would be much easier for FSD to navigate, offering a sort of half test that would be unremarkable. I was wrong, Stein said. The analyst said the vehicle made a left turn from a left non-turn lane through a red light, breaking two driving rules in one move. The vehicle also drove in the middle of two lanes on a twisty part of Bronx River Parkway, prompting driver intervention. Stein said the test showed more human-like behavior and had path planning and execution that worked. Acceleration, deceleration, lane changes, and lane positioning felt more smooth and human-like, less herky-jerky and artificial than prior versions. Stein said the two illegal moves prove that FSD V12.5 does not solve autonomy or get close to robo-taxi capabilities Tesla is working on. In fact, my 16-year-old son came away terrified. I wasn't so sure. Stein said the third time was not the charm with the test of the Model 3. After the test, Stein questioned that Tesla would introduce its robo-taxi event in October. We continue to argue that Tesla's AI efforts are significant to the stock, including at the current price. The analyst said Tesla's automotive sales, energy capture, and energy storage represent a value of $75 per share, with other services making up the rest, including $55 per share for FSD. The AI projects are significant to the stock, so we argue investors should spend some time investigating whether Tesla's AI project with the most history that's generating current revenue and is being used in the real world already actually work. Tesla stock is down 19% year to date in 2024. Get in the comments and let me know what you think and how you feel. And now, cannabis industry news. Wiz Khalifa's Khalifa Kush set to touch down in Europe. Khalifa Kush, a cannabis brand founded by multi-platinum selling Grammy and Golden Globe nominated recording artist Wiz Khalifa, is coming to Europe. Starting in early 2025, Khalifa Kush will enter the German medical cannabis market through a strategic multi-year partnership with Berlin-based Sanity Group and its leading medical cannabis brand, Avai Medical. Beginning in January of 2025, Avai will introduce two exclusive Khalifa Kush strands in the form of flower as a medical offering to German patients, with additional strain launches to follow throughout the year. Grown under GACP certified conditions, these strains were specifically produced for the German market by British Columbia cultivator Miracle Valley and processed under EU GMP standards. These strains will be available in over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the country for licensed patients. I'm excited for our international expansion of Khalifa Kush as we bring the brand to the European market, starting with Germany, stated Wiz Khalifa. When we started exploring a partnership, it was key to find a group in Europe who shares our passion for quality, and we found that in Sanity Group. Khalifa Kush's partnership with Avai Medical aims to pioneer the growing German and broader European cannabis markets, starting with the medical sector. As cannabis legalization processes across Europe, Khalifa Kush will also explore opportunities to roll out its products for recreational use in select countries. Partnering with Khalifa Kush marks a significant milestone for Sanity Group and the German medical cannabis market, stated Finn Hensel, CEO and founder of Sanity Group. As a California-based brand led by expertise and quality, Khalifa Kush presents an opportunity in Germany to advance patient-centered care, particularly in the light of increased demand for medical cannabis products following the nation's reclassification on August 1st. Get in the comments and let me know what you think and how you feel. On our Information Meets Execution YouTube channel, you can also check out the 734 Listening Library YouTube channel for self-help shorts and audiobooks. Follow us on Instagram at 734 Miscellaneous LLC to continue our journey of growth and success together. I'll see you at the top. Holla.